Hey guys, it's Millsy 1995 2012 here to just give my quick thoughts on the recent Raw that happened and coming out of that show, what I think will happen at Wrestlemania, because it's looking pretty interesting. Some of it's good, some of it not so good, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But getting into this week's Raw, when I first watched it, I actually did not really like it all that much. But I had some time to think about it. I watched a few things from it, and I realized that yes, the show had its flaws, but a lot of good stuff came out of the show, and a lot of stuff that was really important. So, after thinking about that, this Raw was actually pretty good, and it served its purpose. Because, like I said, a lot of important stuff came out of this, especially leading towards WrestleMania. But the main problem with this Raw, and it's been a problem ever since they decided to go 3 hours, a lot of filler. There were times where I just completely lost focus and I was just on my phone, on Facebook, whatever, because it was pretty boring and I just didn't give a shit. So yeah, a lot of that, but then yeah, like I said, there was some good stuff. So I'll just go over that. I'm not gonna do a full-on review, but in the opening segment we had Hulk Hogan come out, and if you had been online and seen all the updates, if you had watched Elimination Chamber, you would have known that Hulk Hogan was going to be on this week's Raw, and it was a nice treat. I know a lot of people don't really want to see him back because of his time in TNA. I don't watch TNA, and from what I've heard, I'm not missing out on much, so I don't know what he did in TNA, so I don't really care. So I was happy to see him back, and hopefully he'll do something big. Hopefully he won't just be like this guest host that doesn't really do anything. Hopefully he'll actually play a factor in something. Kind of like what The Rock did at WrestleMania 27. Maybe not to that extent, but you know, something along those lines. But yeah, he cut his usual Hulk Hogan promo from the 80s. It was nothing special, but you know, he got all these catchphrases in. He did fuck up. What do you say? The launch of the WWE Universe. That was kind of funny, but whatever. It was. Yeah. Whatever. It was funny, but whatever. I'll cut him some slack. But so yeah, getting past that, we then had a rematch from Elimination Chamber. It was Batista versus Alberto Del Rio, and while I'm on that, there were quite a few rematches from Elimination Chamber, and I gotta ask, what is the point? What is the point in doing these freaking rematches? If you're gonna have pay-per-view matches the next night on Raw, what is the point in having a fucking pay-per-view? Why should I pay money to watch matches that I can just get for free the next night? That doesn't really make any sense to me, but that's just the thing that I've noticed WWE has done lately, and it pisses me off when I pay money for pay-per-views and they give the matches out for free anyway. So, but whatever. I'm getting into this segment or this match. However, match sucked. It's pretty much reminiscent of their match at Elimination Chamber. It wasn't overly good. And we had Randy Orton. He came out and pretty much distracted Batista, cost him the match, and then Batista cut this promo how he was saying he doesn't care about what the fans think of him. How he loves this business even though he left. And he was saying that if the fans cheer him, he'll cheer them. and then if the fans boo him, he'll boo them, or whatever. It was a boring promo, and it didn't get me excited to see this match, which I cannot believe they are actually going to do Batista vs Orton at WrestleMania. Because it looks like Daniel Bryan's going to verse Triple H. So, and that was pretty much the only other person you could have thrown into the mix. So they are actually going to do Batista vs Randy Orton. Wow. Are they... Like, what the fuck? Do they really think they can get away with this? The crowd is going to shit on this match. Now, I don't know what New Orleans is like as far as the crowd is concerned, but it doesn't matter what city you're in. This is not going to go down well, especially if it goes on last. Now, I know it's a championship, and I know now it's even more prestigious. Now it's been unified, but given the circumstances, given the hole you have dug yourself into, WWE, you cannot put this match on last. I don't care if it's a championship. I've never been one to say that, it's a championship, should go on last anyway. But especially in this case, this cannot go on last, because it is going to be an absolute embarrassment. As for what you could put on last, I have no idea, because there isn't really anything that you could put on last apart from this. But like I said, you shouldn't, because the crowd is just going to shit on it. And WWE doesn't really have anyone to blame but themselves. Like I said, they've dug themselves into this hole, which they just cannot get out of anymore. They've fucked themselves. That's all I can say about that whole issue. But yeah, whatever. And what was the next major thing? John Cena came out, cut this promo about Bray Wyatt and how he was going to get revenge for him costing him the championship at Elimination Chamber. And then the Wyatts came out, and I thought, this is getting interesting. And then they started attacking Cena, and then, I don't know if this is a work or it's actually legitimate, but Cena actually suffered looks like a knee injury. Now, I hear some people saying it's just a work. If it is, they're doing it really well, because they had him go out on a stretcher and all that, but I think it's actually legitimate. He did look in a lot of pain during that time, and yeah, it's not good, because I see all these people like saying, it's John Cena, who gives a shit if he's injured, it's good. It's like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't wish injury on pretty much anybody. And John Cena worked his ass off to get to Mania, and he's booked in a pretty good program with Bray Wyatt. Like, I know it's only just started, but I reckon this could produce some quality television, and it could produce a good match as well. And at least he's not in the title picture for a change. So it's unfortunate that Cena has succumbed to this injury, and hopefully it's not serious. Hopefully this match with Bray Wyatt will go forward, because I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. So hopefully he's alright. But yeah, it was an interesting situation that came out of that. And like I said, if it's a work, then kudos to WWE for selling it, because they did a really good job. What do we have next? Fuck. I guess we're already down to the last segment, and this was gold. This made like the whole Raw, to be honest. I love this. You had Brock Lesnar. His return was promoted throughout the whole night, and he came down, and of course Paul Heyman did all the talking. He said that because Brock Lesnar didn't get his entitled championship match, there was a contract that there was a contract that Paul Heyman had that said that Brock Lesnar could face whoever the hell he wanted at WrestleMania. And initially, he just wasn't going to go through. He was just going to boycott WrestleMania. And as they were about to walk away, he hit a dong. Down comes the Undertaker. Looking, if he had his full set of hair, he would have been going back to like Ministry days, because he had like the goatee. It looked pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, he came down and they had a stare down, and Brock Lesnar actually signed that contract, and you know, it's official. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30 is going to happen. And then after Brock signed the contract, I found this freaking hilarious. Undertaker took the pen and actually stabbed Brock Lesnar's hand, and I found that hysterical. And I actually saw a photo where it looked like, I don't know, it may have been Photoshop, but it looked like the pen was actually in his hand. I was like, what the fuck? But then Undertaker chokeslammed Lesnar through the table, and it got me excited to see the match, because initially, before like it was obvious that this match was going to happen, I didn't really care. I didn't really want to see the match, but now that I've had a few days to actually digest the situation, I'm actually looking forward to the match. I actually reckon it'll be a really good match. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. I'm looking forward to see what they'll actually do with the build-up, whether they'll incorporate the whole thing at UFC in 2010 and all that shit. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. And as a whole, that's what I can say about this Raw. It created interesting television, so I will be definitely tuning in for the next couple of weeks to see what they do, and also to see about the undercard for WrestleMania. It seems, because they haven't really done anything to sort of promote any undercard, so it'll be interesting to see what matches they'll end up doing. I think the Shield, the Triple Threat, I think that's pretty obvious. But apart from that, there's nothing really that you could say is definitely going to happen, especially not in my eyes. So yeah, it's an interesting couple of weeks in wrestling coming up. Oh, and I should also note, with the Batista situation, apparently he's going to have the chance to cut a promo on SmackDown about what he thinks of the fans and all that. And I haven't watched SmackDown in ages, like probably like in a couple of years, but I'm actually considering tuning in to see what he has to say, because I reckon it'll be really, really interesting. And I know Batista's not the best talker, but when he rambles on, it's pretty entertaining. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. And yeah, overall this Raw, and like I said, initially I didn't like it, but it wasn't too bad. It was just a shame that there was so much filler, because if they used that time better, it could have been a really, really, really good show. So yeah, that's my Raw review or discussion, whatever terminology you want to include. As for future videos, I'm not really sure. I'm still gonna do like the ranking ones. I'm gonna do like ranking main event, like WrestleMania main event matches, openers, title matches, whatever. So that will probably dominate the channel up until Mania. I still will do like discussions, but just not as frequently as I used to. So yeah, there's still lots to look out for on this channel, so make sure you be on the lookout for it. And later, everybody.